Hello everyone, welcome to another session. Today I will be talking about point of sales. My name is Olumide Olayinka. I am the CEO of Pinmetrix Limited. So what we do is structuring systems and driving performance. So everything relating to ERP system, digital transformation, you can always call on us. Today we are going to be looking at point of sales. I know in my previous video I've been able to talk about point of sales. You can check my previous video for that. I've been able to talk about points of sales, and the point of sales I was using reference at that point was the ERPNext native point of sales, which means it was built by Frappe itself. Now I'm going to be talking about another type of point of sales that was built for ERPNext by a third party called POS Awesome. POS Awesome is POS Awesome has wonderful features, and what I realize is that it doesn't work beyond ERPNext version 14. So there are other software or there are other solutions for points of sales that have been built by third party as well that that works beyond the version 14. Some are paid and while some are free. But one of the wonderful ones that works very well, that has a lot of features, is the point of sale, is the POS Awesome. Yes, the POS Awesome is a wonderful one. Then the native ERPNext POS also, you can also check that video out. You can see the function if that suits your need. So let's dive into the process. Now, points of sale have its own process, default process, whereby you must have a profile, define the supervisor and also the cashier. You should have all that set, so which means you must have those kind of process manually first before considering having a system to drive it. The system you are bringing is just to enhance productivity, and this time around it might force your users or force everyone to comply with that process. So you don't want your users to start struggling with the system. So you must have put them through on the manual process before considering a system. So I'm going to launch the application. Yeah, this is ERPNext. We are familiar with the ERPNext itself. So this is just a custom page for our point of sales presentation. So this is what it looks like. I've been able to create two users. One user will serve as a supervisor, while the other user will serve as a cashier. Both are same Google Chrome browser but different profile on them. So I will log in here as I'll log in here first as a supervisor. I'll log in here as a supervisor. So the supervisor is supposed to have the administrative rights around the points of sales. So, which is this. This is what the supervisor can see at this point. Now, let me log into this also. This is a cashier. This is a cashier. Yes, I just wanted you to see that as well. So now I have a user called cashier, you can see, and I have another user called supervisor. Yes, so The supervisor is expected to do more of like administrative activities. Now, it is important that you are able to bring in your stock, that these you some of these things that we want to sell, and who are those that can actually use the points of sales. So any retail shop can use the points of sale. So let's say a supermarket, as long as it's a buying and selling, so you are making an instant sales and you are collecting money from the customer. That doesn't mean that you cannot have a credit sales, no, but instant sales, you are capturing it instantly, and you want something that is going to make the process very easy. So that is why that is also done. Then there are some process. So I told you that you must define some things, and one of the things you need to define is first your profile. Your POS profile would have to be set up. So profile is more like you saying, for every point of sales, for every point where you have your point of sales, you want to be able to monitor the activities. So it could be physical point of sales, it could also be virtual one. Yes. So, but what you're trying to do is that you're trying to create profile for those that are going to be involved. You don't want them to mix their activities together, so you want to separate them. That is the essence of this. Within a supermarket, within a restaurant, within whatever, you can have 4 or 5 points of sales, and those 5 points of sales would have to be created. So now for this test purpose, we are going to be making use of one. So, and that is, this has been created already. So you would have to, so the system will request that you match it to a company. As we all know, that ERPNext is a multi-company solution, so you can have various companies on it. Also, it's a multi-warehouse solution. That is why you have your warehouse on. Now, one of the things I don't really like about the software is that you are restricted to a single what's it called? You are restricted to a single warehouse, which means, let's say you have a supermarket, a bigger supermarket, you can have just a single warehouse or a location where those products are. So by that time, you might not be able to track by bin or track by shelf of where those items are actually located. So this, but there are other third parties that allow you that at the point of you making the sales, you can actually select what's it called, the location, which is the warehouse where that product is expected to be picked from. You understand? So, but for this process, you need a warehouse which is attached, which means whatever thing you are selling must exist in this warehouse. That is what it means, or in this location. That's what it means. Now, for customer, you can change, or you can toggle customer. So even though you have selected a customer here, at the point of you making a sales, you can toggle, you can change the customer to sell to any other customer. So it doesn't have to be that you are restricted to this customer. So this is the profile aspect of it. So these are other functions. You can also have mode of payment attached to it. Then now I told you that this POS profile is a point of sales itself. So you can attach different users to this profile. That is why you can see there are different users attached to this profile. It means that it is these users that are attached to this profile that can make sales on this profile. I can have 5 profiles, and I can have all cashiers on those profiles. It only means that when I am opening a shift, I need to select a profile. And if that user or that cashier does not exist in that particular profile, you won't be able to open a shift for that person. So you must have your profile set up first. Then you can have different payment method. It can be cash transfer. At this point, you want to be able to monitor the means of payment that was made at your point of sales. Yeah, whether you receive cash or you receive there was a bank transfer and all that. You can have bank. You can have the normal POS terminal in terms of for cash. You can have that, and you want to track them. So you might have for a particular bank, let's say Zenith Bank, UBA, and all that. So these banks I've made mention are banks within Nigeria, and because you are using their terminal to so that your customer can swap their card on it, they can swipe their cards on it, and you want to also monitor that cash. So at the end of the day, you don't want everything mixed. You should be able to reconcile. You want your transaction to be properly arranged. So that is the essence of this. So, but for this purpose, we are only going to be making use of the mode of payment, cash alone. So what else? Then also, it is also important that you have all the categories of items that you are creating on the system. So all your categories have to be attached to these item. You need to attach your categories, your group of items to this profile. Then also, if you have a way of grouping your customers as well, it means that you are only restricted. You are only going to only show customers of this customer group. So if a customer comes in and does not fall within this group, and you have attached it to this profile, it means you can't sell to that customer. That's what it actually means. So the same thing too with the item. So these are just the basic things within there. Then you can attach tags, you can attach every other thing here are just information regarding your points of sales. So what else? So that has been created already, so I'll move out of that. Remember, we are working with the supervisor's role. We are working with a supervisor on the system. So now the supervisor, what can he do? He can open shift and can close shift. Remember, I'm just going to do a basic understanding on this point of sales. Let's see what has also been done so that we can have an overview of, okay, look at this for instance. So at this point, you want to have a sales analytics dashboard that will show you what the performance of your sales is. You want to see how it looks like. So you want to be able to see the total sales, tax charge, the gross profit. And if you look at it, these are today. These are today's transaction. These are today's transactions here, but this is for the month. So no transaction has been done as of today. This is what it means, that no transaction has been done as of today. This is gross margin by item as well. I think this is just this is filtered by date as well. This is filtered by date. All these are available within the ERPNext. Also, these are different reports or these analytics that you can also make use of. Now, if you look at this as well, these are just reports. Now, this report is for the supervisor. So the supervisor can see a lot of things in terms of reports here. If let's check the other one. This is a cashier. So as a cashier, we're expected that what the cashier should be able to see are just very minute things. So if you look at this, a lot of things, well, is not supposed to see this anyway, but it depends on whatever the client or the customer wants the cashier to see. So this is what is available here. Also, I think this just all, and what else? So you can see that it's restricted from so many things as well. What else? It cannot open a shift. Let's say we try to open a shift. So you can see it can't open a shift. It does not have right to open a shift, but definitely you can see a shift there. So this C is just for this demo purpose. So let's say what else. I'll minimize this as well. Let's go into okay, this so let's say something as a cashier. Let's say as a cashier comes in the morning and he tries to look at this now. A cashier, you can see there's no shift open for this cashier. So, and this cashier cannot do anything. So it is important that before a cashier can work, a shift has to be opened for the cashier. A shift would have to be opened for the cashier. And how are we going to open a shift for the cashier? So I'll use the supervisor's right. The supervisor. The supervisor, I'll just say open shift. Now you can see that this supervisor has had POS opening shift. When we check the other time on the cashier cannot do that. So in fact, we might restrict the cashier from even seeing some of these things. So we just don't want the whole thing to be blank. That's why some of those things were available. So now I'll open a shift. I'll open a shift for that. Now opening the shift period start. Now another thing I have realized with this point of sale, this POS or some, is that even though you cannot backdate, yeah, it allows you to select a previous date and all that, but I noticed that you cannot backdate. When sales is being done, sales seems to be done in real time. Sales is done at the time when that transaction was actually captured, and it is recorded in that day. Even though you have set your posting date that you should post on to this certain date, it would not still allow. Meanwhile, the ERPNext native, which is the POS, the ERPNext POS itself, yeah, that allows for that. So in fact, that POS would not even allow you to post the POS directly. It has a screen first, which is called the POS invoice, where it goes in first before consolidating to be a POS invoice. But for this, POS Awesome just goes directly into the sales invoice. So I'll open this now. Let's say I'll open this now. Because of the company I've selected here, it is only the profile that is attached to this company. So for instance, if I had gone to select a different company, let's say this for instance, then I try to select this, you can see. So it is also important for you to do, I told you, like, the application is a multi-company, so it allows you to create so many things based on company. So I'll select this. Now the cashier is not the supervisor, so we're not using the supervisor to make our transaction. So okay, let me do this. If it would allow me, just to show you what I'm trying to say, let's say the transaction that happened as at yesterday, or let's say, let me even do let's say it happened on this date. So I'm expecting that it should post transaction as at that date. Let's say this is it, right? Let's say this is it. Now I'm changing this to cashier at Gmail. That's another thing I have noticed. So you have to type the the email account or the name in full. So if I select this now, you see, even after selecting it, it doesn't allow. So these are the things I have also noticed. So for it to allow you, you have to write it in full at gmail.com. So I know if I do this, sorry, share at gmail.com. So let's say, so I have to write it in full like this. That's another thing I have noticed. So now, so the system is now requesting that you have an opening balance. You know, there are some points where you give a cash float to your cashier. You give a cash float so that they can use as change. So that they can use as change. Customer comes in and they need to collect 10 naira, 20 naira change and all that. So you want them to have some denominations of currency on hand, so that by the time they come, you can still reconcile based on what you give them at the beginning of their transaction. So but for these, I'll just, no, don't let me put anything. I'll make this 0. So most times, so I'll just leave this one. So that's for cash. I'll just make it 0 and just save this and submit these. Remember, I have opened the shift for the cashier, and then I click on yes. So I've opened the shift for the cashier. The cashier can start his transaction. So this is what we have as today. So then what else are we? Let's go into this. Let's go into this now. So we click the POS awesome, which is the front end of the POS. So clicking on the front end of the POS, this cashier has been attached to it. So you can see that it's now listing out all the products that can be sold within the system. Now this demo is also for a kind of restaurant. It's just the point of sales of the restaurant, that is, customer walks in, pick their food, then either leave or eat there. They're making, so this is not tracking, tracking the tables they eat or making a menu, or this does not track. This is just for me to capture that a sales was made. Now if you look at this now, this is the interface. This is how the interface looks like. So on the interface, you will see that you have all the list of items here. So some items have been created here, and some of them have pictures and some don't have. Now you have what's it called, a kind of card view, where you see the pictures or the images of the item you are selling. So you can have the list as well. So this list will show you the items. It can list out all the items. And also from our profile setup, we have also set up that it does not allow zero quantity, negative quantity. So it is whatever they have, they are selling. So it is important that you also, as a supervisor, the supervisor must make sure that it is what they have on ground or what they have in stock, that is what is being captured onto the system. So you need to make sure that your system is well reconciled with your physical. So let's say, where do I have, so we have some product there. I'll just I don't know what's happening here, but I'm sure there are products here. So let's see. Let me see this. It's telling me and okay, let me just it's telling me zero quantity on this level even after doing, let me see, let me try to refresh this. Do I have zero quantity? I'm not sure I have zero quantity there. Oh, okay, anyway, I know I have quantity in some, but I'll just check. So now let's look at the card, and let's say beef burger, for instance. So I'll pick some of the items. I just pick my items. Let's say I'm picking some of the items here. So some of them have prices. Now all these prices is coming from your ERP. So your ERPNext serves as the back end. So which means you must have created your item. You must have set up the pricing for it. That's what it means. Then at this point, this has zero quantity, zero pricing. So this I can delete. Okay, I'll come back to show you some of these. Now pizza is also here. I'll just pick some items at this level. Now also you can decide to check or filter the item by the groups. So, and how do you do that? All you just need to do is just to, these are all your groups. So maybe alcohol, I can come to alcohol to see when a customer requests for, I can just come to alcohol to see a list, or just search. I can either search here. So depending on how your items are properly grouped, look at this. Now here you can see I have big beef burgers here. I have quantity in some of them. I don't know why it wasn't showing the other time. Okay, so I have beef burger here. You can see I have chicken burger. As this is for burgers and sandwiches. So what else? So if I scroll down again, let's see dessert. Let's see dessert. Dessert has nothing in it. Juice. So we don't have any quantity there. Let's say for pasta. Pasta has no quantity in it. Pizza. So which means you must have also checked all that to be sure. Okay, for bottled water, there is bottled water. Let's say a customer had ordered this anyway. So the more you click it, the more it increases the quantity. So if I keep, you can see it keeps increasing the quantity as well. So for this also, so I can just let's go back to haul. I just wanted to drop haul product. Let's say drop haul product. Okay, now it's showing, I don't know, okay, maybe system, okay, I think it was just still refreshing at that point in time. So these are the ones I have quantity, I think just this. Now, what else? Okay, let's say the customer is not picking these, I can delete this. Okay, before I pick that, so let's say there was at the point of me clicking and I did something by mistake. In terms of quantity, I can reduce my quantity here, or I can just use this to deduct. So just deducting, or I type it in to give the kind of quantity that I want. You understand? I can do that as well. Then if you have a discount, you want to apply a discount by percentage, you can. Then also this percentage is also a setting that allows for setting, because it is not it isn't important that it shouldn't be that your cashier should be able to apply discount. So applying discount should come from the supervisor, so which means that your supervisor should be the one that will grant that discount. But for this purpose, I'm just telling you the functions around it. Now the system will tell you the price list rate, the price you're selling it, the quantity, available quantity that is there, the groups it belongs, and all that. That's for this line that I have selected. So all I just need to do is just to collapse it. So when I collapse it, I can open this as well, check. So if there's any item, then you can also change your unit of measure. You can change your unit of measurement. For instance, if you are selling in carton, if you are selling and they have different prices for it, you can do that as well. Yeah. So I'll just delete this as well. So we have just this this order. So this single one is for a certain customer. It's just for this customer that had come in. So this is a working customer. So we want to be able to track working customer. And also if it is a registered customer, you can create your registered customer at this point. If you have access to it, if you are given the right to create that, you can create that. But we are using this for this alone. Then what else? Now, it could be that your customer just goes, then wants to come back, maybe wants to pick something, and you don't want to delay the next customer, you can just save it and sell for another customer. Let's say for this customer, I pick another customer. This one just got a bottle of water and a chicken burger. Then I click on pay. So this is the point whereby the customer actually paid. So now how much? So if I have different mode of payments, maybe it is a card transfer or whatever, a bank transfer or a card used, then I would have set up that as a mode of payment, then also attach it to the profile. Then I can select for it. Because we have set this to be cash loan, that is why this is showing as a cash loan. Now, how much did the customer pay you? So in real sense, so if you are giving, you are exchanging with the customer, if you are giving out change to the customer, it is important for you to write, let's say this customer pays 6,000, except the 15 naira difference was given to the cashier as a stipend. So it's possible she might not write it. But in a situation whereby there is a change exchanged, so there's a change given to it, so it is important, so that because you are going to give out the difference of 15 naira to the customer, and the cashier is expected to compute that this was the amount I started with and this is the amount I collected. So how do you now know the difference with the 15 naira? So that 15 naira that I have given out also will also reflect here. So that is the essence of that. So if I just say 6,000 naira, so there's a change. So I can just say submit and print. So submit and printing it would give me, so if we have a point, what's it called? A point of sales printer, this will print out. You are not limited to whatever format is that you are seeing here. There are different options that can be selected in your profile as well for this. So this will be printed out, and that's all regarding that. Remember, a customer had to go and pick something, and how do we then call it up? So I can click on held. So clicking on held, you can see this was the invoice that we held the other time. So all I just need to do is just to select it. So I can have 4 or 5 orders that have been held and just pick it up at that point. Then let's say this customer and then pick another item. Let's say maybe picked this in addition. So I've added this and 16,650. So then I can just click on pay. Then let's say this is the amount that was paid. I'll just click on submit and print. So that is that about that. Now, why is it that showing? That is showing because my printer default was set to PDF to always print out. So in a situation whereby there's an hardware, it will just print out from the hardware. That's now I've sold that. Let's say, let me just pick this item. Remember, there is no quantity available. The quantity is 0. Then I say pay. The existing quantity is 0 for item. Apple juice is not enough. So those are the kind of questions you would always, those are the kind of prompts you always get on the system. Now, okay, let's check that held again. You can see there's nothing there because we have fulfilled that invoice that was held initially. Then this as well to perform the function of the held. Now, this return, yeah, you can actually return what's it called, an invoice. Let's say you have sold to a customer and you know the invoice number, let's say one of those ones we sold, so you can actually return. This is also rights driven, so a cashier is not actually supposed to do that. So that is for a return, and it will record what was actually returned. It's going to record it on the system. Now let's see, now all these things that we've been doing, how is the impact within the ERPNext? So I'll go back to this. Now let's check our profile. Let's say our report, for instance. Now if you look at this now, so this is a dashboard that shows you the daily sales count. How many sales have we been able to make today? You can see it is just 2. That is what is there. You can see the total net sales for today is this. The tax that's supposed to be charged is this, based on whatever setup we have done on our VAT. That is that again. These are total gross. These are total quantity sold. That is all the items that are sold today. What is so? That is that about that. So if I check that, okay, let's say I'm picking. I want to filter this by today. I can actually see. Now I have this report here as well. Remember the sales we made today. Okay, the gross profit is like 18,000, right? So that's why we're having a gross profit of these. The revenue is 21,000. Let's see, you can see that's the 21,000 that we have made today. Okay, so this shows you what what's it called? This shows you an instant view of your performance. This shows you an instant view of your performance. So you can see the total cost of the item. So this is total cost of your item. That is, it could be the cost of manufacturing this chicken burger or the cost of purchase. So this is going to give you all that on the system. Then also at a glance, you want to see what you have in stock. So I can say this. Then remember, we're not doing whole warehouses, we are doing warehouses for finished goods. That's the finished goods warehouse that we're looking at. So this gives you I think this gives you like a top products. I think so, top 20 products, but showing us 4. Okay, this is what, because it is only these items we have. That's why it's just showing us this. So if we have more, to show us the top 20, that's what it means. Then we can also view, let's view more reports. If I click here to view more report, we can actually see our stock balance. Okay, this user does not have access to this. This does not have access to this. Okay, anyway, let's move on. So the same thing to on this. Let's see this, if he has access to this as well. Okay, he has access to this. Okay, so we'll pick the item. Sorry, the company we are filtering as of today. So it's going to list all the things that was being sold. So you will be able to see the performance of your company at a glance. That's what it means here. Look at this now. So there are so many analytics here. So this will show you gross profit, the previous month gross profit. And remember again, this is for your supervisor, and it is not limited to all this. So customization can be done just to fit in your need. Now, gross profit for the previous month and for the current month for comparison's sake. So that is this for February and March. Then let's see this as well. So that is that about that. What else? So these are different reports. Maybe I will have to make a different videos. So you can actually know your slow moving and dead stock. Just like we have something here, this would tell us the products that are that have been in the shelf for a very long time. The last time they sold it was 30 days ago, and all that, how many was sold and all that. So you could have a report that can show you this, so that you can make an informed decision. So you can see a sales report here as well. You can see a sales report here. This will give you sales reports by the company. So let's say I'll just pick for the date range for a full month. Let's say I pick for a full month. You can see. So this will show you. This will show you all the sales that was made. You can see the status of each other. So if you have this, you will be able to make some analytics around this. You understand? You can always see that. Now I was going to, let's search. I'm going to sales invoice, like the one we just did today. Let's see all the sales invoices that were done today. Okay, so it was just 2 sales order we made. I think it was just 2 sales order. 2 orders we made today. So I think this just is okay. You can see 7 minutes ago and 8 minutes ago. Now looking at this now, you can see the normal sales invoice. This is the normal sales invoice that was supposed to have been generated if we are using the ERPNext directly. You would have seen this. So the system has captured this automatically for you. You understand? It has captured this automatically for you to see. That's about that. What else? Now, so look at what I'm saying. Look at this now. Remember, we changed. Today is 19th of March. Today is 19th of March. So even though when I was explaining to you the other time, I explained when we're setting up our what was it called, opening shift. So when we're setting up our opening shift, which is this, okay, so now this, let's go back to remember when we set up our opening shift, which is this, we set our posting date to this date. You understand? Regardless of what we set it up to, it's still the transactions are still posted as of today. You understand? They are still posted as of today. So that is for POS awesome. It's not like that on the normal POS within. So it is whatever data you have selected there that is going to make use of. So that's just the other thing I noticed. So in fact, I think they are actually right, but I just don't know why this option is there, because point of sale should be an instant sale. So any invoice that you need to do that is a backdated, so it's better you use the normal sales invoice, which is the backend, to capture all that. But for subsequent one going forward, you can then use your point of sales. So what else? Those are just the only thing regarding that. So if you are done, you can actually close your shift. So this has been done. Let's just sell one more thing. Before we sell one more thing, let's go out of here. We've been able to see our sales report. Okay, you can see sales by shift as well. You can see sales by shift. So for every shift that is created, you would see it drop down here. So this is still on. If you look at it, this will show you all the what's it called, the quantity that was sold and all that. So you can see this report by shift. You can see it by shift. So this is always a very good report at the end of the shift, before your close shift report. So you can just come here, check. You can check whatever report that you have here. There are so many reports that I have not made mention of. So let's see again. So you can see category contribution, that is how each categories of items or group of items actually contributes to the sales of that period. So let's say I'm picking, let's say, so we can see their contribution to it. So where we sold from is just burgers and sandwiches, then soft drinks. So we can see there, because there are two sales orders that were made. So you can see their contribution at that end. So let's say also, you can also have this historical customer lifetime value. That is how a customer had always, you want to know your loyal customer. You want to know your loyal customers at this point, how much have they been able to buy from you when their first purchase, their last purchase, total transaction. Even a single sales can actually change, can even be bigger than the revenues of every other person. So even if this person, this seems to be the highest, right? This seems to be the highest, which is a working customer. It has made 5 sales so far. But their total revenue is 90,000, while the average is 18,000. So this a kind of report that would help every organization. So let's see again. So, and now there's this also, this recency, frequency, and monetary. So you can also use this kind of report to group your customers based on some categories you might want, and you're scoring them. So let's see how this report looks like. Yeah. So you can see the recency in days. I think this is in days. So look at this also. So you can see so many things within the system also. Let's see. There are so many reports and some kinds of report that would help. Now, cash sales summary by cashier. Yes, this is another good report. Now you might, because you have different cashiers, and you want to know the performance of each of them. You might also use this report. To see who is actually working. You can also use that, the cash sales and all that you can see. So there's another kind of report that you might be interested in. I think there's one other report I'm still looking out for. I think there's one other report I'm still looking out for. There's so many reports here. You can see repeat customer rate as well. You want to know how frequent. Yeah, I'm still looking for that grouping of customers. Repeat customers. Your total customers is 5. And you want to know how frequent you have returning customers. So out of 5, 2 returns frequently. So which means that, yes, so repeat customer, you have 40%, which is also a very good analytics for you. So let's see again, what other thing do we have? Yeah, this is another report that talks about the promotion. You want to know the contribution of promotion that you do on a particular item. you want to see the impact of the promotion to your sales as well. Let's see one other report I'm looking out for. I'll check later, where you can actually group your customers by VIP, regulars, and all that based on the rate at which they buy from you. So let's see this. No, historical. Let's see this, for instance. No, not this. There's so many reports here. There's so many analytics here that could help your decision. So I think that is just about that relating. And please note, this report you are seeing here are custom report. All these are custom report. This doesn't come with POS Awesome, or it doesn't come with what's it called? It doesn't come with POS Awesome. It doesn't come with any of ERPNext POS. You understand? Even the sales invoice does not come, but these are custom made reports that we can actually make for any customers. We can actually make it for you. If you are interested, you can hit us up on that. So let's just close this presentation now. Let's say, okay, we are done with this. When we are done, all I just need to do is to close the shift. So the next thing for me to do is to close shift, and I just say close shift. So this is closing shift, which means I'll just say close shift. Then at this point, I'll select the shift that is open. So it is only one shift that is open. If you can remember, these are open shift, and I'll just select it. So this would list out all your sales order, all your what's it called, all the sales you have made for the day. I thought we did one more, but let me see something. I thought we did one more. Let me see how many sales counts we have here. I thought we did one more there, but I can only see 3 sales there. Oh, 2 rather. Okay. Thought we did one more there. Okay, just 2 sales count. Okay, so I was just wondering. So it's just 2 sales count. Let's make one more. I just want us to make one more. Let's make one more. Let's say we bought this person and water, and just say we pay this, and let's say just that same amount. Okay, so we are done with that. So I'll just refresh this. Remember, this was done. After, I'll just reload this now. Let's reload this. Okay, so let's pick this. So you can now see there are 3. So even if you check here now, refresh this, you'll see that your sales count is 3. So you see your activity in real time. You will definitely see it in real time. You can see 10 quantities sold today. You will definitely see it in real time. You understand? So let's I just want us to close this. So all things being equal, I've been able to select that I want to close a shift. So because I have selected this shift, this shift, then this profile drops, this cashier drops as well. Then so if I have like 2 different cashiers as well, yeah, I can also track it based on this, even though they are both, all of them are selling to the same point, but their name is actually different. So I can select that. So this is just, then the system would ask me what else. Let me save this, for instance. Let me save this. So okay, the system would then ask me how much is the expected value. So the total sales we have made today is how much. 27,950 is what this is the expected amount. So if there was an opening amount here, which is the cash flow I talked about earlier, so that would have added up to this. You understand? Then the closing amount, it's possible that closing amount is lesser. There could be one reason, but it is whatever you're closing with that you're entering onto the system. It's possible that the supervisor had collected let's say 2,000 naira from the cashier, maybe to offset something. As long as you can make account for it, it's whatever you're closing with, you're writing on the system. That's just, it's just to show the difference. So if there's any reason, that reason can be written and all that. But in this case, we'll just write 27,950. So we don't have any discrepancy. So everything remains the same. So we don't have anything here. Just sorry. So remember, this is one of the mode of payment. So if you have various mode of payment as well, it's going to do the same thing. You understand? So transfer and all that. So it's going to list out like that. So it's just for you to account for it. So all things being equal, look at the total sales for today, the net sales, the total tax. So let's see. I want to also say something. The tax. There's the total tax. So you can see even before closing, you can see the performance of your business. You can see the performance of your business at every point in time. That is that regarding this point of sale. So all I just need to do is just to save this and submit. So submit means that nothing can be modified on it again. I just say submit, then I say yes. Then we are done. Then we are good. So that is just, that's about that. So then let's go back here. So what will happen now if I refresh that page now? Let's see what would happen. So I'm expecting it to request that we open a shift again. So in case, because the shift has been closed, so why should I have to do any transaction? So while that keeps rolling, let's see, do I have any other thing that I would like to show you? So that is just it. Let's see, I've been able to discuss all the reports. So I've talked about this sales report as well. So you can see the sales that was made for today. Let's say that's for today. So instantly you can see okay, this will show you before prior available quantity, that is before this quantity was actually, so this was what it was in stock for this item. So it will show you all that. So this report, you have so many things here as well. Let's say this as well. Let's say that's for, let's see again what else. So I may say, okay, let's see our gross profit margin just for us for the day. We want to see how much we have made and how it was being let's say for this today. You can see your gross margin, you can see all that within the system. So yeah, so this is 10 products sold. Yeah, look at this now. So how the product that was sold, this revenue, this total cost, this gross profit. So you can have a good idea around that. So what else? Okay, yeah, I think we opened something here. Oh, this is the, okay, so this definitely shows that it has closed. Let's just, let's say this for instance. Okay, let me close this. So if I decide to open, you can see, yeah, so it is closed. You can see it is closed, so that's why I cannot do anything again. So that is the end regarding this video. So you can please follow me, support me, like this video, make comments on it. If you want any of our service around the ERPNext, please contact me. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. Bye.